All on beat. They're getting beat up to a soundtrack.
No.
Oh, damn.
That's what we see. Oh my god.
Boom.
The bazookas.
Watch yourself.
Oh.
He's a
Oh.
little sassy
To
pants.
a lady, bruh.
Uh-oh.
Secret's safe with me.
They're shipping
him.
them.
What's up,
Crazies? And welcome back to our channel. And if you guys are new here, I'm Andy.
And I'm Jazz.
And we about to get crazy.
Because today we're gonna be doing something a little different. As
I
you see
love
on the
different.
title of the video.
Let's get it.
So we just finished watching K-pop Demon Hunters, and if you guys do want to watch that with us, it's on our Patreon in the
Yes.
super crazy tier. So you guys can join if you guys want to watch that with us.
It was so good.
We did want to make a separate video for it because we had a lot
We
of
had to.
thoughts on this, whether it was like our interpretation of the movie, you know, explaining maybe some of the Korean traditional elements they added into this.
The
So
symbolism.
instead of just doing that on our Patreon, we did want to share our thoughts about the movie and like the symbolism here on our YouTube so that everyone can watch, because I'm sure y'all watched it too.
Come on.
If you haven't, go watch it. You should watch that first before you watch this video, because
Yes.
there could be, you know, some spoilers.
Right, there's gonna be
But
spoilers.
yeah, we just wanted to share all that, you know, with everybody. So that's why we made this separate video. But seriously, guys, amazing movie.
Amazing
like,
movie.
from the soundtrack, bomb, okay? The animation, but it's just overall, the message.
Like for me, so coming from me, when I first saw this movie, like when it came out, right? I saw it on Netflix and I was like, oh, K-pop Demon Hunters. Cool, because K-pop, right?
Yeah.
But when I saw it, I was like, this is obviously going to be K-pop and fighting demons.
Yes.
Right? That's exactly what I thought. But I was like, cool idea, but how is this going to work? Because it could be really corny.
Yes.
And that's what I was afraid of. And god damn it, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Because the Korean, historical Korean elements that went into the movie
Right.
that tied the story together
Yes.
was very creative.
Even
Like,
the whole idol world.
yeah, I loved it because the
Yeah.
message behind like being an idol, the whole Korean symbolism and the Korean elements, like the traditional elements, that all ties into this movie. It was just made so creatively.
Yeah. So we do want to really talk about it with you guys, and maybe, you know, you guys can also share your thoughts too.
Yes.
But we do want to talk about first like the Korean traditional elements they added into this movie, and the main point for
Yeah.
sure here is the tiger and the magpie.
Right.
So 호랑이 and 까치.
There's a famous
Huge symbolism with that.
there's a famous painting. I'm sure you guys seen it. There's a famous painting of a tiger and a magpie. So the tiger and the magpie, and by the way, I'm looking at the screen because we wrote everything down
Yes.
here because it's a lot of information,
Yes,
bruh.
yeah.
But the tiger is seen as powerful and they ward off evil spirits, while magpies bring good news.
Yes.
And if you see in the movie, the tiger and the magpie together bring like those envelopes.
Yes.
You know what I'm
The
saying?
tiger goes, "Lek."
Yeah, and then they have he has an envelope in there, and
Right.
it's basically like bringing news.
Yeah, and then
To
get-
Rumi.
right? And this is like a popular folk art, right? And a story too, but it symbolizes good fortune and protection,
Come on,
which is
bruh.
what they were doing for
Exactly.
Rumi,
Uh-huh.
right? And also Chinu too. Yeah, so I really liked how they added, especially the tiger and the magpie, because they were the ones that kind of brought Chinu and Rumi together.
Right.
Like, they're the ones that were protecting them. You know, you would think like, oh, it's just a cute tiger, a cute magpie. You know, at
Yeah.
first I was like, is that a crow or a magpie? But obviously I realized it is a magpie.
Right.
But you could see that they're the ones bringing them together, and they're like the messenger for each other
Exactly.
so that they can come together.
But I think the tiger and the magpie, like in a way, belong to Chinu.
yes.
And then I think Chinu is the one that sent the tiger and the magpie to Rumi.
Right.
It was almost like for protection. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And to also bring news.
yeah.
Like when they wanted to meet too. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And again, there could be spoilers in this video
Yeah.
as we're talking. So if you haven't watched it and you want to watch it and you don't like spoilers,
Yeah.
exit out right now, because I might be saying things that you don't want to hear.
Yeah. Like exit out right now.
Yeah. But anyways, as you guys know, at the end of the movie, the last scene is pretty much the tiger and the magpie. And I feel like they did that on purpose because they're either one saying to the viewers,
Right.
hey, we're gonna bring good news to you, whether it's a sequel, whatever it is, or Chinu didn't die.
Yeah,
Okay, you
Chinu
guys,
isn't
I'm like,
gone.
you guys, I was crying. Like, it was beautiful, but at the same time, I don't know what happened to him. Like, where is he? We need to find
Calm
him.
down. It's okay. I think Chinu's okay.
We need
though.
to find
I
him.
honestly think Chinu's okay.
Yeah, but that's a sign. I feel like it's either for the viewers to say there's a sequel, or a sign to say, hey, Chinu's okay.
Now that I'm thinking,
fine.
Now that I'm thinking, the soul,
Oh.
Chinu's inside Rumi.
Oh!
Chinu's inside Rumi. You know how he's like, I give you my soul.
Yes, yes,
and then the
yes.
soul goes into her.
Yeah.
And then like they're one.
Right.
So basically Chinu isn't gone.
I know, but like still he like
Yeah, I think his physical form is gone. So I feel like if they make a season 2
she could bring him out. Okay.
or put the soul into the tiger.
Oh my god,
You know
that's
what
so
I'm saying? That'd
cute.
be pretty damn
Yeah,
cute.
but see, I love that. The tiger and the magpie, especially the symbolism they brought to this movie, you guys.
And even the way they animated them, it was just like in the traditional folk art.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And we literally copied and pasted this from Google so that we can say it in a better way, because
Yes.
sometimes we don't speak correctly, you guys. But I like this because together, the magpie and the tiger, they represent a blend of strength and positive omens. So guess what? Together with Chinu and Rumi. Together.
That's
bring
symbolism right
strength
there.
And
Bringing
positive
them
omens.
together.
Because when Chinu went into his soul, went into Rumi, she basically beat the freaking Kima, right? Like, because it's the strength. And then it brought positive omens.
Right.
So, like, that was beautiful.
That's symbolism right there.
Yes.
Too, using traditional Korean history. But speaking of Kima, I'm not sure if they just came up with it or if I'm reaching here, but I think Kima was made from using the word magi backwards.
Right.
Because magi means demons
Right.
in Korean.
Yes.
So if you flip that, it's Kwima.
Yes.
Right?
So I think.
I don't know. Let me know if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I have a feeling
But
they
I think
might have
that's what
done
they
that.
did.
Yeah, and also I like how they made these demons, at least Haja boys, beautiful. Because in the Bible, at least too, like, you know how they say the devil is freaking handsome. Like, he's deceiving. You will not know that he's the devil.
Right.
Because he's so, like
they're
attractive.
beautiful.
Yeah, like, you will not think this person is a bad person. You would
Right.
just literally be like, wow, beautiful.
Although
like,
Kima was ugly, bruh.
oh, Kima was just a freaking fire.
Fire, dude.
Like,
come on, bruh. And I don't mean like you fire. I mean like you fire, bruh.
Yeah.
Come on, bruh.
But I really do like how they made these idol boys into these demons because, again, demons or the devil is supposed to be beautiful.
Right.
Idol boys are beautiful.
Right.
Even like Chinu putting the mustard on the hot dog, right?
Like
And
doing good deeds and
good
stuff
deeds.
like that.
So people trust them.
Yeah.
They think, oh my God, they do no wrong.
Deceiving.
But deceiving.
Deceiving.
Maybe not Chinu, but the rest of the boys.
Well, in the beginning, Chinu was.
He was.
In the beginning.
But that's because he had a reason to be.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody has a backstory, right? That was
Yes.
another message that like this movie kind of portrayed. Like not
Yes.
all you see in the outside is all bad.
Right. But we will talk about those interpretations after. But yeah, to move forward with the Korean traditional elements, there was also the, honmun.
So hon
Yes.
literally means soul. Mun means door.
Right.
So they're saying soul door.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because it's like they're trying to make sure that it's strong and then that it can be protected. So
Yeah.
then these demons can't get through it.
Right. So
Right?
I like how they named it honmun too.
And also saja.
Yes.
You know, saja boys, right? I thought that was very creative
I
too.
first thought it was Lion Boys. That's what I thought it was going to be. The Lion Boys. That's their
Dude.
logo too.
Yeah, that's their logo too. But even in the beginning of the movie, they show a Chosung Saja.
Yeah.
Chosung Saja is basically a
Grim
Korean
Reaper.
Grim Reaper. I can't say that, but they show him, and then when Saja Boy came out, the five of them, remember, they were in the demon world. They're wearing the same all black with that hat, but that's a Chosung Saja. So Chosung Saja, Saja literally means like sa, like it means death.
Yeah.
And then cha means human. So
Person.
literally like a death person.
Right.
Person who takes souls basically means that's what saja is.
Yeah.
But chosung saja, literally, chosung means another world. So a person of death from another world
Yeah.
that basically comes to take your soul.
Yeah.
Look, why? That's what Grim Reapers do.
Uh-huh.
They're here to take your soul.
So that's why I think it's genius that they call them the Saja Boys, because these Saja Boys clearly are the demons. They're the
Right.
monsters. They take souls. So that's what they do. They take the death of a
Yeah,
person too.
right.
So they're the death person, right? So I think that itself was just genius.
It was genius
Yeah.
because it's like you would think it's simple, right?
Yeah.
But it's like to be able to put a story together to make it make sense, but
Yeah.
also incorporate Korean like traditional culture into it. That's hard to do. Like
Yeah.
putting everything together to make it make sense, but also make it entertaining and cool.
Yeah.
That's dude, like tip my hat off to them.
Yeah, and I really like the Korean traditional details they added, even though they didn't have like a crazy part in the story. But for example, like togebis. You know, in the beginning, we did see monsters that look like togebis, which are goblins.
Right.
And they have a huge, like I would say, play in the Korean folk tales,
Oh, yeah.
right? Like there's a lot of stories about
They're like
도깨비s.
there's demons, but there's also tokebi's who are goblins who play tricks.
Yes.
You know, and then they're tricksters, and then if you piss them off, like they'll like do bad things to you,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But I like that they put that in there, even if it was just a little sprinkle,
Right.
Because it's Korean culture.
Yeah, even
right?
like the Joseon dynasty, you know, the kings, the hanbok, and even this was like the K-pop group of the time in the Joseon dynasty. But remember
Yeah.
the 3 women, they were the demon hunters
Right.
at that time. But you know, they looked so beautiful in their hanbok. You know, they were like doing the traditional dancing.
Right.
It was just beautiful. There was a lot of other things they added that were like Korean tradition, but I just can't remember it right now. But I really like those little details they added.
But speaking of the Joseon Dynasty Demon Hunters, the first 3 women that came out, the first Demon Hunters, right?
Yes.
I loved how the movie showed the evolution of the generations. It was because, right, the powers are passed down.
Yeah.
And it shows the different generations that came, just like how K-pop right now has generations. There's Gen 1 K-pop, Gen 2 K-pop. Like, so I love the parallel in that. And it's like, it's so rich with culture,
Yeah.
you know, and I love that.
Right. Like they portrayed it perfectly, like even the way the style was, you know, it's like the era of like our parents' time.
Like the 80s.
Yeah, way before that even. Before that. And then it turned
70s,
into
60s.
the 80s. And then it turned into like the 90s, right?
And then current.
And then current. And so I'm loving the evolution because obviously we know that K-pop started in the 90s. Like, you know, we were...
Like idols.
Thank God we were alive when K-pop started. You
We
guys.
were right at the start.
I was like 5, 6 years old, and I was dying for HOT. Okay,
No, I feel you.
I was like, who are these boys? But before that wasn't really called K-pop. I would say.
I would say it was called Kayo.
Yeah, I don't know what it was called, but either way, it wasn't called K-pop. But still, even though we were fans of that because of our parents, when K-pop came out, it was a whole new world for us, you guys.
It was a whole new world.
But you know, it's just a beautiful thing to see that. Where it started.
Right.
And also, like, I do like how they show the idols eating, especially the fact that they specifically used kimbap
And like ramen.
and ramyeon. Yeah, because we know those are the dishes, I would say, that you eat when you're in a hurry.
Yeah.
You know,
Because they're
they don't got
constantly on
time.
the run.
Right.
Like, they're always like, not on the run, but they're constantly on the move.
Yes.
Because they got schedule. So
Right.
they don't have the time to go to the restaurant or whatever to sit down and just eat. What they have to do is they literally resort to kimbap and ramen because it's quick.
Right. And it's not even just idols, it's just in general.
Yeah, in general.
If you're like a busy person, like that's what you usually eat. That from at least you could probably see in Korean dramas too,
Right.
right? Like that's what they eat. And not just that, it's just classic.
Classic.
Kimbap is like the Korean
Like,
food.
they don't even cut it. Like,
Yeah.
you saw them,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like, it's just a whole, and then they just take a bite out of
Mira
that.
was just like, ah.
Mira just ate it in one bite, bruh.
Yeah, and then the ramyeon is very important, obviously, you know. So I like that, but also I like how they're showing these idols eating. Because I think, you know, there's that whole thing where it's like idols don't eat and all that. And I personally think maybe, this is just my interpretation, the movie was trying to portray like idols should eat. You know what I mean? They should, because you need strength.
Yeah.
You know, like,
You need
and we should
food, bruh.
encourage that.
Yeah.
You know, because the fat shame is real too, guys. You think they just do that sometimes because they're like, oh my God, I'm not hungry. No, because haters are freaking real. You know what I mean? Like, they will fat shame you when they're freaking fine. They're fine. But I feel like the body shame is real and all that. But
Yeah.
I don't know. This is just my interpretation. I feel like maybe the movie portrayed like, yeah, idols eat.
Them just eating,
Eat,
putting it
chow
away.
down,
Come on,
enjoy
bruh.
your food. You deserve it too.
And also, I love that, this is just my interpretation, but you know how Huntrix, as a group, you know, obviously, they're on stage, they're idols, they're cool, swaggy, like, beautiful, pretty, cute, and all that, right? With the stage outfits. But behind the scene, they're goofy. Like, you see them making those faces and
Yep.
all that, right? Like, I love that how they portray that, because it shows that behind the scenes, behind the whole, you know, performance and us being Huntrix, we're human beings.
Yes.
We love to joke around just like how you do.
Right.
We make funny ass faces just like you do. You know what I'm saying? Behind the scenes, we ain't wearing, you know,
Yeah.
no stage outfits.
Yeah.
I'm just wearing choo-choo train, you know,
Yeah.
pajamas with bears on it.
But first, I want to talk about those pants. Teddy bears and choo-choo trains? Really?
We're just like you.
Yeah,
I
like-
love that how they portrayed
Me
that in the movie too.
Because we do try to say that a lot in our reactions too, where like we truly believe these idols are just like us. Of
Right.
course, we're fans, right? Like we will goo goo gaga with the abs as they showed, right? The chocolate bars, the bazookas, like their pretty faces, all of the above.
Right.
Of course, that's just us being fans and just, you know, appreciating them, right? But at the end of the day, if you strip all that down, they're really just human beings, just like us. They literally lounge around in the couch, you know, in their freaking pajamas, you know, have no makeup on, have a freaking just messy hair, don't care, right? Like make funny faces, play games just like us, like they're regular humans. And I feel like that's also what they were portraying, you know, and there's a lot of things in this movie they portrayed of like the idol life and what we don't see that we should see.
And also that we should know. Like, it's true. Like, we know that they're humans.
Right.
But then the thing is, what we see first are idols. But before that, they are humans.
Yeah.
And if they're humans, come on, man. Like, we all have friends.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we may not know, like, what they do when we're not with them. But then in the end, they're just like us.
Yeah.
Like, you talk, what'd you do today? Oh, I just did this and this and this. Oh, yeah, I did the same.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's the same thing for idols.
Yeah.
They do the same. When they're off work, just like us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think also another part that they might have added that they wanted to be normal is the whole shipping idols. I kind of like how they portrayed it to be like fans were actually supporting Chinu and Rumi.
Are you whispering? Your secret's safe with me.
Me too. I like
You
that.
know,
It's
like,
wholesome.
because you would think that they would be like, oh my god, oh hell no.
You better keep your hands
they're-
off of
they're
my
whis-
Rumi
yeah, they're-
or
or
my
my
Jin.
Chinu.
Yeah, or Chinu. I mean,
You know who he's thinking about.
I mean, come on. He is worldwide handsome. Come on,
You guys
bruh.
know who's on Andy's mind.
You know, he would play a good Chinu. Come on,
Don't
bruh.
mess with
Come
his
on.
gin. But,
Okay,
but anyways, okay? What we're trying to say is, like, I do like how the fans were being supportive of shipping these two. Honestly, we were too. When we watched that, we're like, oh my god, we need to ship these two together.
We ship them.
Yeah, but because, you know, again, fans can get toxic.
Right.
When at the end of the day, what's the deal? What's
Right.
the problem?
It
You
showed
know?
the fans
Why does it matter?
Yeah, like, and I love that it didn't show fans being toxic. It showed fans being wholesome.
Yeah.
Like, they were just enjoying K-pop because it's a hobby in the end, right? Like, it is. Like, you collect CDs or you collect, you know, photo cards and stuff, and you're able to, you know, dive into this K-pop community, make new friends, and be able to talk about these things. It shows the beautiful parts of it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I love the way they did that because that's something like I feel like we should follow.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
You know, and I do think they did add a little bit of the toxicness of fans too, where it's like they jump ship depending on
like
what it
switching,
is.
yeah.
But it's okay to, like, you know, maybe
Be
not
multi-stands.
multi-stands too, but it's okay to, you know, sometimes fall out of love for a certain group because maybe the genre that they're pursuing at the moment is not your cup of tea or the vibes that they're bringing. Like, so we totally get that, but I think it could show, like, you know how they were just like completely, like, this one character was like ripping his shirt.
Yeah,
and it
he
was,
just
like,
kept changing.
It was like hundreds to Saja to 100, you know?
Yeah,
But
literally.
I don't think it was showing like multi-stand. It was kind of showing like, oh, I'm not for this group anymore. I'm all for this. And it's like you're hating on the other group. And I feel like that's where, like, also, you know, fandom wars come. And I feel like that's not right either.
And it just shows how easy it is for fans to kind of switch. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It kind of portrayed that too.
like, you say you love them, but at the same time, do you really? You know?
And another thing that I wanted to talk about, also, we're going back and forth because, like, we just jotted everything down.
Yeah.
But the bathhouse. You know,
Yes.
they kept talking about bathhouse, how, like, you should, you know, Rumi never went with them and then was like, oh, you should come with us. It's the best place ever. But obviously, Rumi didn't go because, you know, she was marked.
Yeah.
Like, she has those demon
Patterns,
marks. Patterns, right? And that's the reason why she couldn't go, because she couldn't be her full self. But also, this is just my opinion, but I feel like they did that with the bathhouse. Because obviously bathhouse is huge in Korea and in Asia in general, right? But bathhouse is considered to be a place where people bond.
Yes.
Like, that's where you bond and like you kind of talk about deeper things, and then that's how you just really bond. And at the end of the movie, Rumi finally goes.
Yeah.
And if you see, they're all crying, saying, I love you
I
guys. I can't be
know.
with. They're bonding.
Yeah.
It's like another level of bonding.
Right.
I love how they portrayed that
Me
in
too.
the movie.
I think that's also part of Korean tradition. I don't know if it's other traditions as well, but at least for the Korean tradition, the 찜질방 sauna is like the place to go, especially for bonding moments.
Yeah, that's
you know
where
what I
you
mean?
go with like your best friends.
Best friend, or even your family, or even like father-in-law, son-in-law,
Yeah.
daughter-in-law, mother-in-law,
To
like
bond.
to bond, sisters, brothers. It doesn't matter. Like, that's
Right.
where you go to bond because you're kind of like, honestly, all bare too. So it's like you're vulnerable. That's a vulnerable moment.
That's
if you really think about
literally
it.
your bare self is the truth.
True.
That's you.
That's who you are. And I think that's also a thing that they wanted to portray.
Symbolism.
Symbolism is, you know, at the bathhouse, you gotta be naked when you go in there. And it's like the sisterhood. They're showing their just true self. You know, Rumi's able to show all her, you know, patterns comfortably around her members. But now it's like you could say they're like sisters.
Right.
And I think that's where also brotherhood and sisterhood in groups come in play. And we talk about this too in our reactions a lot. Like, I think if you don't have that brotherhood and that sisterhood in a group, usually I would say it won't work out.
Right.
Because the chemistry needs to be real.
Right.
You need to have that trust with each other and you need to have that bond and that love. And it needs
Most
to be
def.
real. It needs to be true. It can't just be faked. You know what I mean? So I think that's where this movie was showing with Huntrix. The members, they needed to trust each other. And there was that moment of testing their trust.
Right.
When Rumi obviously showed her patterns and they were like, whoa, like, you're a demon.
Right.
And they were kind of like hesitant about it. They're like, I don't know
They
if
weren't
I can
sure.
trust you. But as obviously she came in singing and that was her true self, right? And the girls came back to her because at the end of the day, that's their girl. You know, no matter what happens, the bond is real. It's like family fighting or your best friends fighting. If it's true, no matter what you guys go through, you're gonna come
Right.
back together. You know, and I think that's what they're portraying too. Is like in a group, you need to have that brotherhood
Right.
and sisterhood.
You need to have that trust. And more on that too is like Rumi wanted to tell her members about her patterns. It's like maybe they will accept me for who I am. Maybe they'll understand. But remember, Celine was the one that said, no, you can't. You have to hide it, hide it, hide it, hide it. It kind of shows the way the K-pop business is too.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like when something happens, like hide it, hide it, hide it.
Right.
But it's kind of like it's better to be truthful. And I feel like that's the whole message of the movie is like the truth.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you did this or that. No more lies, no more hiding, no more running away. What you have to do is you got to tackle it. And then you got to face the music.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah,
And then
literally.
you have to be truthful.
Right. And I think also the other symbolism are the patterns that Rumi and Chinu felt like they were different.
Right.
Right. And they felt alone. And I think especially Rumi, like before she met Chinu, she felt alone. Like she doesn't know what to do because she's obviously different, right? And her whole character is fighting these demons, but she's one of them. So for her, it's like, you know, I could tell she felt very misunderstood and alone. But when Chinu came, she found someone that understood her.
Right. That's in
And
like
I
the
think that
same
was
position
beautiful.
as her.
Yeah, I thought that was so beautiful. And, you know, I think like a lot of these idols, we could look at the glitz and glamour of it all, but really like it is a lonely road, you know, and it is something where like
It is.
us regular people might not understand, to be honest. We might not understand it, but we at least try to. But you know, we know there are a lot of people out there that don't even try to understand.
Right.
They just bash on them. They have to be perfect, you know. They have to be a certain way.
They have to be perfect.
It's
like
either this or
literally.
that.
Like
Yeah.
idols are considered to be these perfect people, right? Perfect, right? But then the thing is, this movie portrays them as, look, like they may look like that, but it's not all like that. Even the other members have their own like not flaws, but like insecurities. You know, it shows. Amira were saying like, oh, I don't ever get to have a family.
Yeah.
Or like Zoe was like, you're too much.
Like
you're-
weird
yeah,
and-
weird. Like you're never of help kind of thing, right? Everybody has their insecurities. Just because they're idols and what you see is like, oh my God, they're so pretty, or they're so cool, they're so swaggy, they must have a lot of money, they're famous, doesn't mean that they're happy.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that they're not insecure.
Right.
Of course they have insecurities. They're human.
And I think that's also what they portrayed is that these haters, these toxic fans, or the media makes them feel like they're useless. Makes them feel like they are mistakes. And I
Right.
think those are the perfect words that they use in the movie. Like, I'm a mistake. Like, they believe that that's who they are, that they're a mistake, you know? And then that part, this is the part that got me was when Chinu was to sing to Rumi.
All we get to do is live with our pain, our misery. That's all we deserve.
That deserve.
Yeah.
They feel like they deserve this pain and misery because they feel like they have to be perfect.
Yeah.
Because these haters or the media, whoever's trying to bring them down, portrays them as these perfect beings. And if they do something wrong, it's like the end of the world. They're the freaking devils, right? They're the demons, literally. Like, just because I don't know, maybe dated somebody, or maybe just because, I don't know, like,
It's true.
I smoked a cigarette. I don't know what it is, right?
It could
like,
be. It could be anything.
It could be anything.
It's like it could be.
I made a mistake. I made a stupid mistake that I'm gonna learn from, but yet you won't let it go.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's like I could have done the same thing. I could have lied to my parents, right? Let's say, for example, I lied to my parents, and then I got in trouble for it. But then I'm okay because I mean I'm not an idol. I'm not famous or anything. I'm forgiven.
Yeah.
But let's say that idol lied to like their friend, or it lied to the fans or something, right? It's like in the end, it's the same lie.
Yeah.
Like lying to the fans, I wouldn't say it's bigger than lying to your parents.
Yeah.
But you lie to your fans, it's over, dude.
Yeah.
Like it's done.
Right.
Right. Like you don't get a second chance.
Yeah, and you don't even want to know their side of the story.
Yeah.
What you feel is set. Like it's set on that.
I'm not saying lying is okay,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
then what my point is
A sin
like
is a sin.
like a mistake is a mistake, but then everyone deserves a second chance.
Right.
You know what I mean? Always.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's like the whole covering themselves up. Those patterns also depicted like who she is, and she's covering it up because she doesn't want people to know who she truly is because she's afraid she's gonna be judged.
Right.
You know, and I think that's what these idols do is that they cover up who they really are because they're afraid. Fear is what gets them.
Right.
And guess who allows them to fear? It's not just themselves, it's people who are hating on them, the outside world, media, whatever it is.
Or it could be from the pressure too.
The pressure of it all. Like, we really need to think about that, you guys. You know what I mean? Like, it's very serious. Like, and I think they really, like, put that in this movie for a reason. And I love how at the end, though, Rumi was like, F this.
I'm showing
I'm
myself
showing my
exactly
flaws
how I
and
am.
all. Beautiful voice coming out at the concert. You know what I mean? Destroying all those other demons.
A song literally
She wrote from the heart.
she wrote from the heart
Yeah.
that depicts herself exactly just how she is.
Raw.
Raw. You know what I'm saying? With the patterns and everything. This is just who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think that's why even writing the song was important in this, because when they're trying to write that diss track, right? They weren't really trying to speak from the heart. They were just trying to write something that might please maybe the public, or, you know, something that can like hit.
Something violent though.
Yeah, but it's violent too.
Yeah, something like the way I took that is like they wanted to just kill the demons.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna make this song and just like a diss track.
Yeah.
But then Rumi, it didn't sit well with her, being the fact that she is half demon, and also Chinu. She knows Chinu is like that too. So it's kind of like for her, it's like there has to be a more harmonious
Yes.
way to end this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a way.
Right.
But then this is not the way. Violently like this. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna do it another way.
Yeah.
Where it's more truthful.
Right.
You know what I mean? I love that.
Me too. I took it more like, you know, as a writer, if you are a songwriter, like, you know, write songs from your heart. Don't worry about what other people say. You know, if they want to support you, they'll support you. If they don't, then it's okay. You know, but if it's truly something you love and you want to give this type of music to the fans, do it.
You gotta do
if
it.
that's who you are, then do it.
You gotta follow your heart and you gotta follow your voice.
Right.
Remember, speaking of voices, even you know, the Kwima kept coming into Chinu's voice.
Yes.
It clouds his judgment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, but you gotta follow your voice.
Yeah, follow
You know
that
what I'm saying?
heart.
Your heart.
We can go on and on
can
about
go
this,
on
you
and
know,
on.
but, you know, if we think of more stuff that we forgot to say, you know, we'll write it down in this
Right.
video. But you guys, this movie was seriously beautifully made.
We gotta definitely
Like, it was
watch it
genius.
again. We'll
Yes.
probably catch more things
Yeah.
out. But this is our initial, like from our first watch,
Yeah.
like how we felt and what we took away from it. But love the way they put it together. It was so creative the way
Yeah.
they made this, because it could have, like I said, it could have went south.
Yeah.
It could have been corny. But to be able to put together a movie like this, a storyline like this that has to do with K-pop without making it corny.
Yeah.
Adding in Korean history and morals, like
Yeah.
of how things should be done. You know what I mean? Harmoniously.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love
Me
that.
too. With the idols themselves, with the fans together, just in general.
They didn't leave out anything.
Yeah. I want more. Chinu needs to come back.
Right, Chinu needs
Because
to
I'm
come
looking for
back.
his ass, okay? Like, I'm looking for him. I don't know where he went. He's either, he's in Rumi's soul. I don't know,
Rumi's
heart.
soul.
But I need to find him, okay? Because that guy is my bias as in the Saja Boys. I was saying how my bias, I think, surprisingly you would think it's Rumi, but I think it's Mira.
Zoe. Zoe
His
for
is
me.
yeah.
Zoe for me. I really
She's
like.
my style. It's like the badass.
Cause she's
you know?
so positive and
I know,
bubbly, and she's
bubbly.
freaking funny too.
I know.
And then in this
When
Haja,
she fangirls.
yeah, and even his Haja boys, I
Yeah.
really love romance.
Yes.
Like only because he looked like Felix to me.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny that he said romance because we do know the guy who sang
Right.
for romance.
I
his
didn't
voice.
know that at first.
Not his. I don't think he really talks, but either way, it was his singing voice. It's Andy's sisters. They work together. They're Andy's sisters.
both
a songwriter.
songwriters,
Yeah,
right.
so they work together in Decade Plus Music. But Samuel, he has a beautiful voice. So if you guys want to know who sang romance, like who is this beautiful voice, that's him.
That's him.
Okay?
Samuel.
Yeah, he got that
done,
voice.
He done
Yeah.
killed that shit.
Yeah, but you know, I'm looking for Chino though, guys.
Come on, bro.
Okay.
Also, you know who else I want to know? I the one thing I would say is I wish they would have brought out Celine at the end.
Yes.
'Cause remember-
sequel.
No, because remember.
Talking about the mom too. They didn't talk enough about the mom.
Because remember, Celine and Rumi had that moment,
Uh-huh.
like in front of the tree.
Yeah.
And then that really heated moment.
Yeah.
I wish it explained more
Yeah.
after the fight.
Right.
You know what I mean? But maybe they're saving that.
That was a tearful moment for me
That
too.
was, that
where she had to
was.
just accept, like, why can't you just accept who I am?
Right.
So I did my best to accept you and help you. Accept me? You told me to cover up, to hide. Don't you get it? This is what I am.
But in
See,
the
you
end,
guys see
though,
what this movie does?
Yeah. It's like it
Yeah.
shows you a different like view of things.
Right.
In the K-pop world, as in
Right.
the idol world.
Yeah.
And I feel like this movie did a beautiful job of it. It showed behind the scenes, the personal life of idols. It showed like the hero side,
Yes.
because sometimes we do look at them as like a hero when
Yeah.
you're younger and you look up to them, right? But also like we got the culture,
Yeah.
the cultural side of it.
Right.
So this movie, 9.8 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
Come
Like,
on, bro.
At the end of the day, this movie's about unity and being in harmony, you guys.
Right.
But love this. Let us know how you guys reacted
Come
to the
on,
movie
bruh.
if you watched it. Your interpretation of it all. Okay, we want to know too if
We
we
wanna
missed
know
something or whatever.
everything,
We're gonna watch
yes.
it again though, but let us know how you guys reacted. And if you guys enjoyed this reaction, please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
And we'll see you in the next video, guys.
Bye.
Bye.